My name's Duddits, I do builds and stuff, but today I've got an exotic helmet I want to talk to you about. It's absolutely great for PvE, plus some really good exotic pairings. The Knucklehead radar is what I am talking about. This got changed at the beginning of this season in the exotic reworks. It is now the old Foetracer. The Foetracer perks got switched over to the Knucklehead radar, and we're going to be going over it and showing you some really good pairings, including Merciless, Coldheart and Witherhoard. So the Knucklehead radar exotic helmet, it provides radar while you're aiming, so you've always got a radar whenever you aim. Enhances your radar resolution when you are crouched for PvP. The next part about the visually marked targets deals more damage to low health marked targets, and it provides a small buff to the airborne effectiveness. But the visually marking targets is for PvE and PvP, but it's really good in PvE. So this is what it does. Quick breakdown: it marks targets. I quite like the marking targets perk. I think things like glassware, things like that, just GMs off the top of my head, where you need to keep an eye on enemies creeping up on you, and then whenever you duck like so, you're going to get enhanced radar. That's the other perk of it, the other part of the perk, so probably better for PvP, that one. But the visually marking targets and dealing extra damage to low health marked targets is really strong. As you can see there, big old Carl is marked up and he's got a Witherhoard stuck to him. Witherhoard actually works really good with Knucklehead radar because it's got the primeval torment on there. Projectiles fired by this weapon blight the target nearby an area of impact, and as we know, Witherhoard, it keeps doing damage over time, which works perfectly with the Knucklehead radar, because you'll see here how quick these numbers go up. Once he gets down to a third of his health, you're going to see the numbers just go up and up and up like so. So it starts off at 10,260 and it goes all the way up to 11k in a few seconds. So the tankier the target, weapons like Witherhoard, you're just going to get so much damage with the Knucklehead radar like so. Just look at that, he's not even stunned in the end, and the ticking damage that keeps going up and up and up just manages to kill him. So it's really strong. The good thing about Knucklehead radar, you can actually double up your damage or triple up. So something like a vortex grenade, once that target is marked, add echo of undermining for the weakening effect. You can actually apply a few different ways of doing damage like so. So you'll see Carl again, I've stuck a Witherhoard to him. The numbers are going to start going up once he reaches a third of his health. Stick a vortex grenade to him as well and you're doubling up your damage. So how to use this, how I like to use it: vortex grenade, get the champion stunned, Witherhoard on there as well. You can even switch to another weapon and you're going to triple up your damage if you shoot him with a machine gun as well, something like that. But there is loads and loads of other good weapons to pair with this. Dead Man's Tail is actually pretty good. I did a video on this last season when it used to be the old Foetracer, but it's got the perk on there, Cranial Spike, where you chain precision hits. It grants bonus damage and target acquisition and range. So if you keep hitting the target with this without Knucklehead radar, your damage goes up. But once you get to a third of the health, the Knucklehead radar is going to kick in like so. So you get the damage from the Cranial Spike and the damage from the Knucklehead radar kicking in, and it does make quite a lot of difference on something like Dead Man's Tail. You can even go a little bit further and think of legendary weapons, things like Focus Fury, things like that, all work really nicely with Knucklehead radar. So get them to a third of the health and you're laughing. Some other weapons, Coldheart actually works really good because the exotic trait on this weapon shoots a steady cold fusion powered arc laser, dealing more damage the longer it remains on target. That is basically like target lock. So Coldheart does feel pretty nice this season, but if you add it with Knucklehead radar, again it's like the Cranial Spike in a way. You're going to get the damage from the Coldheart the longer you remain on target, and once that target gets to a third of his health, your damage is just going to keep going up and up and up until they die. So Coldheart is another good pairing. The one what I think is probably one of the better ones in my opinion is Merciless. Hits with projectile decreases weapon charge for a short duration. So it starts off firing at 1000 charge time per second, but then after that damage is just going to keep going up and you fire faster and faster and faster. And obviously again that Knucklehead radar is going to kick in, so you're going to fire really fast towards the end, plus you're going to deal the extra damage from the Knucklehead radar. So I found Merciless really strong with this. I've done, again, just want to say I've covered the old, when it used to be Foetracer. I did loads of builds on this back when it used to be Foetracer, but I sort of wanted to go over them again. So Coldheart, Merciless, things like that, Witherhoard are really strong. Another one, just legendary weapons, again, just thinking things like target lock. Obviously, the longer you remain on target, your damage goes up, and again, getting down to that third of the health, and your Knucklehead is going to kick in. Even things like Focus Fury, anything like that, bait and switch, are all going to work really nicely with this helmet. And how I see it, basically, I just see it as free damage. It is literally free damage. Once you've got that enemy down to a third of its health, you have, like, honestly, it's just free damage. And then everything that you've seen so far, you can always stack with things like weapon surges, things like that to add even more damage. Even other debuffs in the game, like tractor cannon, even seasonal perks like rapid fire ranger, these all stack with Foetracer. So you can do some really nice things with this. Again, I will say again, I did cover this, well, when it was Foetracer quite a few seasons back. But I think since the rework, a lot of people seem to be a little bit more interested in it, so I sort of wanted to go over it again. And then even for boss DPS situations as well, it is really good. Like, even if you've just got it in your inventory, you're killing like a real tanky boss in a raid or a dungeon or something like that. You've got 3 hunters, just switch to your Foetracer. Like, last minute, just when they're down that third of the health, it'll increase your DPS by 30%, because I think that's what it caps out at, 30%. But it ain't bad, it is free damage, and it's extremely useful in all activities. The tankier the target, the better it is. So basically all I did in these sort of clips was I just stuck to Void, because I found Void personally the best for this, because you've got that echo of undermining in your vortex grenade, like damage over time, the weakening effect, things like that. But there is loads of different options to run. You can even do like a radiant build with it on a solo hunter or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much coming towards the end of the video. We'll just do a quick recap of some of the weapons that really work nicely, like in these clips here. So we've got the Coldheart, which could be interested on an arc build, something like that. We've got loads of other different options. Things like Dead Man's Tail, just free damage. Again, these all pair with things like Rapid Fire Ranger, but some really quirky little combos that are actually pretty good, and I've used these in Masters and GMs, and it does really nice damage in all activities. Other weapons to consider: Le Monarch, the poison damage is all going to benefit from Knucklehead Radar. Even things like Fawn, this is getting a catalyst next season as well, so this could be really interesting. Increased poison damage. Briar's Contempt, or any other linear with Focus Fury. Bait and Switch are obviously some really good pairings as well. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you think. Have you tried Knucklehead Radar since it's been changed over? Thanks for watching. Have a great day.